So, where's volume 2? It's in the works, but it's going extremely slowly. A lot of life has happened to me. 2026 is really not my year. I don't want to get into it because it's going to sound like I'm making excuses, but it is the reason, so I'm gonna get into it. So while working on part 1 of this fucking nightmare that I signed myself up for, I got a new job. And with the work hours, it became really difficult to finish part 1. But once I eventually did finish the video, fuck off. Once I did eventually finish it, I kind of didn't want to watch part 2, let alone make a fucking video about it. But then there were multiple people giving me positive feedback and asking for part 2, so I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Part 2 is so bad. Holy shit. The script for part 2 is so much longer than part 1. A quick peek behind the curtain. The way I make these videos, the ones in which I react to the scenes instead of talking about the project as a whole, I watch and react and then type out my reaction to then repeat it later. Which doesn't sound like anything, but it's not like I watch the whole thing and then pretend like I didn't. So for example, in part 1, when I predicted that Carly would be the one that the military had, it was a genuine prediction. Obviously, I knew that it was Carly at the time that I edited it, but I didn't know when I recorded it. Anyway, my point is, I didn't want to come back from work and then watch fucking Stranger Things. Fast forward to May, part 1 has exploded, and I haven't even started part 2, so I was already behind. Again, part 2 fucking sucks. So I decided to work on part 2 for an hour a day, and I was making pretty good progress. But then my cat died.
Fake laugh, hiding real pain.
Which doesn't sound like much, because it's just a cat, but I've had it since I was 10. And she was literally the only thing that I could vent to. Especially about this fucking terrible nightmare of a video that I willingly signed up for. If the show got too stupid, I'd get up, find her, hold her, and it would make me feel better. And then I could go back and try to get through the scene. But now without her, it's much more difficult to go back to watching the terrible show once it sufficiently pissed me off. Anyway, that was in June. So the majority of June and July, I didn't do a fucking thing. I maybe got through like 12 minutes of show footage. And then I lost my fucking job. I wasn't technically fired. They just couldn't pay me anymore, so they let me go, which is good news. More time to watch this fucking show. Yay! But with no motivation and no support, I could not care less. But then the comments of part 1 made me want to try. So I made a whole bunch of progress and finished episode 5 and got pretty far in episode 6. And then recently my brother died. His funeral was literally 2 days ago. So now I'm just hollow and don't feel like making videos anymore, especially not fucking Stranger Things. The only reason why I made this video is because of this commenter. I made them promises before that I didn't keep, and I'm sorry about that. I will continue to work on the video, but it will probably come out in like October or some shit. This isn't ideal because I would have loved to make other stuff. I wanted to make a video on Damsel when the new Enola Holmes trailer came out. I wanted to make a video on Invincible season 4. I desperately want to make a video on the terrible Spider-Man movie, but life is just not on my side right now. But like I said, I made a lot of progress between the traumas, so there is that. Part 2 script is so fucking long though. For reference, this is episode 4. It's the longest portion of part 1. It's a little over 4,700 words, and it took me 2 weeks to edit. And it's like 22 minutes of part 1's video run. And it's like 22 minutes of video 1. Fuck! And it's like 22 minutes of part 1's video runtime. This is episode 5. It's 9,546 words. So who knows how long that's gonna fucking take to edit. And then here's episode 6. It's 6,035 words long, and I haven't even finished it yet. So, anyway, that's it. Fuck off.
And just remember, no one will ever be able to hate you more than you already hate yourself.